can get this money. It's easy. Everyone here is rich. I just need to set up a business. You're going to have to be running that business. If you want to make $1 million, your work ethic needs to be crazy. I'm going to use the word again, crazy. I mean, you basically got to be crazy. There's women that think, oh, well, someone's going to invest in my business, baby. Sometimes people ain't going to invest in your business. It's going to be you investing in your business with your time, getting that thing up out the mud, getting it up off that ground, getting that engine started.
Thank you for tuning in to the Beauty Boss Millionaire podcast with Felicia Fracassi. Her mission is to empower you with short, on-the-go business tips and advice to help you successfully start and run your company like a boss. And now, here's your host, Beauty Boss Millionaire, Felicia Fracassi.
Welcome back to Beauty Boss Millionaire. I'm your host, Felicia Fracassi, and we're really just talking about what it takes to make $1 million. And the objective of this episode is, one, to let you know that you can make $1 million. It's very easy if you just follow a simple rule of some of the things I'll get into. And two, you have to know what type of sacrifices you're going to make. I'm not going to lead you in the dark. I want you to be aware of the type of sacrifices that you are going to be making if you want these millions. And I'm telling you, I don't use the word sacrifice lightly. So let's quickly jump right into it. The first thing about sacrifice is it's surrendering something, completely giving up something and getting something in return. But whatever you're giving up could be something you really don't want to give up. Anything from your free time, your going to the club time, hanging out with your friends time, being on FaceTime, being on video games, being on social media. There's all these things that you don't even realize are things that you secretly love so much that also are distractions, and they take up a good hour to anywhere to almost 4 to 5 hours a day of your time. And this is time that you are going to need to be focusing on your business. That time that you're sacrificing and those things that you're sacrificing are things that are going to begin to make the business. It's going to be the energy that you're going to be redirecting now towards focusing only on building your business. And most people don't get here because they're not hungry enough. They don't understand why these foreigners, because the foreigners come from, they're sick of being broke. They come from the bottom. They've lived in lifestyles that they didn't want to live in. So now when they come over to America, they saying like, I can get this money. It's easy. Everyone here is rich. I just need to set up a business. So do not get mad. A lot of people complain, oh, all these foreigners are coming to the United States. Well, they see an opportunity, and a lot of people aren't taking the opportunity that's right before their face every single day because they've grown up here and they've gotten spoiled. They've gotten comfortable. I'm talking about some real sacrifices here. I'm going to get deep. If you are a person who you don't mind, just making a certain amount of money and you're okay with that, you could turn off this episode right now because this is not for you. I'm going to get into the nitty gritty of what happens when you make true sacrifices. I mean, some of these sacrifices to this day, it still bothers me because I didn't want to have to do it, but I did. I did it because I knew it was the right decision at the time. I'm talking about sacrificing time away with my children. That was one of the first things that really bothered me, but I knew because I wasn't an entrepreneur. I had my kids, my children were with me when I was, doing the business. I first started my first business. I had my whole family help me. I had to sacrifice. Some people they'll stop right there. Oh, I ain't sacrificing no time with the kids. Okay, well, how are you going to get your kids in a better position? Don't look at it like, oh, I can't be without my baby. Sometimes you're going to have to say to yourself, you know what? I will find the person that I trust with everything. Now, I ain't talking about no stranger, no daycare. I'm talking about me. It could be someone with your mama. It could be your grandmama. It could be, you might not like the way they're being cared for and down to how you would, but at least they're being washed and they're not dying and they're still being fed. Those are the basic necessities. In exchange for that time, you're going to have to be running that business. If you want to make $1 million, your work ethic needs to be crazy. I'm going to use the word again, crazy. I mean, you basically got to be crazy. And the reason why I'm saying crazy, because crazy can be defined as something that doesn't make sense logically. Sometimes people may view it may not even make sense. Like, why is she doing all this? Why are you sacrificing all this time? You're not here. Your pattern, your schedule changes completely because all your energy and your thought goes into this business. I mean, it's like one of the hardest things people can't wrap their minds around is these sacrifices that you're going to have to make. You may not understand it. I mean, I'm talking about people up and moving from one city to another without even thinking twice because they know that in the city that they're at, it's just not right for them. It's not going to help their career. I've seen so many people move from one city that didn't have the clientele to another city where they did have the clientele of the people that would pay. I've seen people move from New York to LA just because they knew LA vibes were better. I've seen people move from LA to a different area because they knew. I've seen people move like Kanye, just go straight up in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of some mountains because that's what they needed at the time for their business, So you are going to have to make some of these sacrifices. And let me just break down some of the sacrifices that I've made. That people just see me all pretty now in the G-Wagon and the Bentley, and they don't even think that I know how. That's why people get so shocked. Like, I cannot stand diva entrepreneurs, and I can't stand prima donna entrepreneurs, and I definitely don't like these men that think that people should just give them money, and they make no sacrifice. And women too. There's women that think, oh, well, someone's going to invest in my business, baby. Sometimes people ain't going to invest in your business. It's going to be you investing in your business with your time, getting that thing up out the mud, getting it up off that ground, getting that engine started. So I've literally slept on my store's floor before. Literally. When I was in New York City, that's one of the difficult markets. Living in New York City, you could literally pay for your store or you could pay for your apartment. And I knew that there was going to be I was going to have to make a sacrifice. And I said, I'd rather that the store survive. Well, at least there's income coming out. But yet the apartment, I had to wait to get the apartment. So those are things that people say, I can't do all that. And they get mad. Well, how come you? This is the honest to God truth. I don't remember what I was doing or why. I don't know if the apartment wasn't ready and I didn't want to pay for the hotel because the hotel at the time, the price for a hotel, for a decent hotel, they didn't have any rats and all this stuff because you can go get you a hotel in New York for like, $69, $79 and you're going to have bed bugs. You're going to be even worse off than you was because now you got to get the bed bugs. I'm telling you, anyone that lives in the city, they know what I'm talking about. You can't go stay at your friend's house because it's going to be too far on the train. By the time you know it, you just like, I'm just going to stay here. At least I know this is my shop. It's clean. I'm going to go to Walmart, get that blow up mattress. Those are the sacrifices I'm talking about that makes a true warrior. You literally going to have to do what you got to do. And I remember having to sleep on the floor. I don't even remember if I've done it several times, first of all. So that's why I really don't remember because in all my stores, I think I've slept in all my stores at least once. And, I actually have a family member that is, I'm not going to say the person's name because they're going to kill me because I'm very open. I'm just going to keep it real. But I have a family member that makes over $1 million and they actually have slept in their business's floor before as well because of this very same reason. Because sometimes you're not going to want to pay that $300 could be $300 in advertising, but you paying for a hotel just so you could be comfortable with a little couch and a bed that someone on worn out before you even got there. LOL. You know what I'm saying. But my point is that the sacrifices that you make are the ones that people don't see. Some people, I got to be in a fancy car when I rent a car. I'm like, nah, give me the basic one. The best gas mileage, the safest, and I'm out. I'll be in that Yaris looking crazy or a little Prius. Because I know that I got to have to just get to point A to point B. I really don't care what people think of me because I know what that bank account looks like. And that bank account is popping. I'm not that person to be flashy and not have nothing in the bank account. I hate people like that because it's the reverse. It's like it's giving false information. They're portraying like they have money, but inside they're broke. They don't have nothing to even hold them down. So, I see people who literally won't drive 1 hour to make money. Yep. I've driven in one day over 12 hours just to make an appearance, get my product in the hands of celebrities, and to make sure they accept my product, spend time with them, mingle in the room, network, go to an event that I know that's really popular and go to get my brand out there. And took, obviously, when you hear about these events, it don't be like you can't book a flight. Sometimes it's like last minute stuff, especially in New York City. They be having events you hear about through a friend you didn't know about. So and I got to change up my plan. You was going home. Now you got to stay another day just to get what you got to do. So you got to do what you got to do. And some people won't even make sacrifices like that. They won't even wake up early, knowing that they can make money. They won't even wake up early, literally. Sometimes I remember when we were kids, we had to go out in the strawberry field to go to this is so crazy. We would go to the strawberry field and we would have to pick these strawberries. And we all did it as cousins. We would get, $5 a basket. I don't know what the price going rate was, but we would get the strawberries and we had to weigh them and all that stuff. And we had one cousin that just never would wake up early to even go with us. We was like, yo, the van leaves, our ride leaves at like 7:30 in the morning. You up? We try to wake this person. I can't. But they was up all night playing Nintendo. Back in the day, it was Nintendo that people would play. They would literally sleep all day and miss an opportunity. These are people that will never make a business successful. They won't even be in business 1 year. They don't know how to make sacrifices. I mean, I know some people that won't even give up watching their favorite TV show because, I got to watch my show. Like, I don't even watch TV. My household does have a Netflix account, but I don't even know the password. I don't even go on there and watch it. The only time I ever watch Netflix is like my husband, like when he's falling asleep, he'll like have a show on. So if he don't really, it's kind of weird. I'm like this, but if he doesn't pick a show, I'm not really into it. Like I don't really watch TV. I don't really care about what everybody else is doing. Because if they up here sitting up here watching, you playing into their game. They're making money off you being a viewer. Like that's not the way I think, but you basically making them rich by just watching it. You need to make yourself rich. And I'm just very selfish with my time. Because you really have to be selfish. And being selfish with your time is not a bad thing. Because if you sit up here and let you take every single phone call, you answer every single text. I'm sick of hearing about people's problems on the phone. You're a grown person. At this point, if you can't fix their problem, I don't know what's going to help you because it ain't going to be me. And a lot of times people will waste your time with drama, with problems, trying to get you involved in their drama. Before you know it, your whole life has been wasted away trying to be Dr. Phil and you don't got nothing to show for it. And most millionaires that I've spoken to all agree that these are the sacrifices that they've made to make it where they've had to make it, So hopefully this is helping because I know it definitely helped me get to be where I'm at with my millions. I'm sitting in my M's right now and I love it. I love knowing that if something go down tomorrow, I'm still safe. I don't have to worry about is someone going to... I really don't have no one to answer to. To be honest with you, the only person I answer to is myself. The only person I challenge is really myself. But we're going to get more into that next. Part 2, Beauty Boss Millionaire, on how to have these work ethics line up with the millions. Thanks for tuning in.
That's it for today. Tune in tomorrow for the Beauty Boss Millionaire podcast. And don't forget to follow the Beauty Boss Millionaire, Felicia Fracassi, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Beauty Boss Millionaire.